Okay, today I'd like to go back to January where we received a few swatting calls. As y'all recall, January 2nd, approximately 2:20 p.m., well, I'm sorry, 12 p.m., we received a call where the caller stated a name, said that his son was stealing his meth and that he shot him in the head, and that that if then deputies showed up or anybody responded, he would kill them also. He also told our dispatcher that he could find out where she lives and he would hunt her down and kill her as well. He gave the address of 5501 East US 84 Lot 2. During the exchange between the dispatchers and the caller information, with several agencies assisting us, SRT was activated. We went out to the location. There were 6 mobile homes. We had to evacuate each one of the mobile homes to go to the number 2 where supposedly the incident had taken place. Upon arriving and clearing the incident of Lot 2, we had a name that thought it could have been possibly related, later determined it wasn't. And at that point it was determined it was a swatter call. The next day, January 3rd, approximately 6:45 p.m., Dale County 911 receives a call in reference to a male stating that he just killed his wife, shot her in the head, and that his 18-year-old son is tied up upstairs. He gave the address of 555 Jones Road, Newton, Alabama. Houston County, along with Dale County, conducted the investigation, and during that investigation realized that that also was a swatter call. The similarities between the two, he mentioned the Glock 19, he mentioned burning down the establishment, and got hostile at one point on both calls. Houston County Sheriff's Office started working the investigation and diligently came up with a Owen Colton Jarbo, 18 years of age, from Walnut Point Road, Hagerstown, Maryland, along with a juvenile in North Carolina that's responsible for these 2 swatter calls. The FBI was called in to assist us because of the location's out-of-state apprehension. We asked the FBI to step in and assist us, and on January 18th, search warrants were conducted at both locations in Maryland and Carolina, and Jarbo was taken into custody. The North Carolina's a juvenile, and he'll be dealt with at state charges.
Sheriff, would you define a swatter call for those that don't know what a swatter call is?
A swatter call, to give you an example, we really didn't know it till about 3 years ago. We had a call at a local restaurant at lunchtime. Lady calls and says, "I'm an employee, he's in here shooting. Y'all hurry, get here, hurry, hurry." And we go to this restaurant, not with SRT, we went several investigators and deputies, and it was a regular lunch hour. Swatter is, they call in a false call where you activate a SRT team, a special response, special weapons and tactics team. There's been innocent civilians shot and killed during these type calls out west. What I understand, one gentleman had a heart attack when they hit the house, and another one, when they hit it, it stunned him inside. He grabbed a gun and they shot and killed him in his own house. So it's a very dangerous situation to call in these false calls where it causes a department to activate their special response teams. And, you know, when they get there, they're going by what the caller says. You don't have a lot of time, and especially in both of them, when they mentioned the 18-year-old's tied up, and the other one mentioned about his wife, you know, he shot her. So it's a very serious situation. I said we'd find you, and we found you.
You know, from the law enforcement standpoint, when you get a call of that nature, it's not where you can walk up the door and say, "Hey, is this real?" You have to treat it as this is a real call.
You do. You have to treat it real because you don't know what it is. You don't have all the intel, and especially when they put it in an outline that there's possible hostages. Like I said, they gave false names, and we actually ran down both callers. We actually run down the names they gave, and they were absolutely nothing to do with those calls.
And what kind of message do you hope that making these arrests sends to the community about swatting incidents?
It's a very dangerous situation, a very dangerous thing to do. And right now, we're trying to see if we can get the penalty, we get legislation to get the penalty, a more severe penalty. But this particular one fell under terroristic threats because we had to evacuate 5 mobile homes. So there is alternate charges we can put on them when they do this. But we are going to try to see about getting this leveled up to a higher crime.
Are you going to charge these people locally?
The one in Maryland, yes. The one in North Carolina,
Juvenile.
no, he's a juvenile.
Right, but you're going to charge them with Alabama charges.
Yes, Owen Colton Jarbo will eventually be charged here. He was taken into custody by the FBI.
I understand, Sheriff Lindsay, you cannot speak for the FBI, but based upon your knowledge of this case, is his arrest bigger than just these 2 cases here? Could they possibly involve similar cases elsewhere?
I really can't answer that. I don't know. I mean, I've read articles where higher ups have been swatted. I think the congresswoman in Atlanta has been swatted 8 times, a congressman there. I know at one point after these, I think it was Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia capitals were swatted with bomb calls. But I can't answer the severity of his. I know what ours is. But we are gonna go forward with it, and as soon as we can find out what the status and have him brought back.
And how does this impact your department when something like this happens? Because you have to deploy a lot of resources.
It causes a lot of resources. I mean, to activate our SRT is quite a few deputies, and then the equipment, and then it's not just that. That particular one on 84, we had to shut down all 4 lanes of traffic. So it causes a lot of havoc. But there's some ways you can sort of try to get through it now. I guess you'd call it sort of a guideline that you can follow and get whether or not there's any truth to it before you actually go in and take somebody's life accidentally.